So Juventus on your left-hand side in the famous black and white, and the equally famous Red Devils, Manchester United on the right-hand side. A familiar lineup from what we saw in match days 1 and 2. How do you see this one, guys?
I want to see how Ostojic settles back into the lineup. I mean, he was their leading goal scorer coming into match day 3. A tactical decision it was in the end by Manchester United not to field him on that match day. Ultimately, didn't really work. I'm looking to see him prove a point here and say to Manchester United, look, I don't care what tactics are involved, I am unbenchable. I need to be in the starting lineup every single match day here in the eFootball.Pro. So he's a player I'm going to be keeping an eye on in particular in this matchup.
Wes, who have you got your eye on for this one?
It's actually the Juve captain. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how Eterito actually kind of structures this team, and more importantly, how Juve play as a unit. You know, we've seen, as we said about Jekyll and Hyde in regards to not, I think we've seen Jekyll and Hyde from Juventus as well. They were arguably unlucky in match day 1 to not come away with some more points than they did. It'll be interesting to see how they go.
And along those lines, are we waiting to really see the best of Scandalo in this trio? Because, of course, a great player in his own right by himself, but as part of this trio, of course, in previous tournaments, Luca and Ettore have played with Alex, for example, who now plays for Bayern Munich. Does it take a little bit of time to sort of start playing with a new player, and do you think that moment is now?
Well, I think when you look at it, I think Lo Scandalo, I believe, is the only player with a match ball. He's the only player to have scored a hat-trick, so he's bedded in well. I think it's more a case that we haven't seen the best of Juve as a whole. I'm more looking forward to seeing, or more looking to see how Ettore actually imposes his will, because I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. You know, I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing how this pans out in this game.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right in maybe highlighting Eterito as a player that hasn't taken over games as maybe we might want him to for Juventus. When you look at a player who you could arguably say is mirroring him in terms of 1-versus-1 performances back in the old PES League in PES 2019, Usman Kabil, leading goal scorer, leading assister, absolutely doing the business for AS Monaco. Obviously has that support network around him with Kilzu and Lotfi as well. But you could argue the same here for Eterito, and he's really let his two teammates shine as opposed to, you know, really taking the games by the scruff of the neck as we maybe expected him to do so this season.
Well, that's right. Along those lines, talking about Usman Kabil, you'd have to say that currently in the world of eFootball PES, Guiafera, Usman Kabil and Ettore are probably you would have to say, 3 of the best. And we've only really seen the best of Usman Kabil in this competition. We're still waiting to see the best of Guiafera and Eterito, of course.
I mean, you could argue that maybe that's the other two just waiting to settle down into a co-op competition. But, I mean, Guiafera, reigning co-op world champion. On the other side, Eterito has won multiple co-op world championships right back in previous PES iterations. So these two are no stranger to these types of co-op competitions. But, I mean, we'll have to see how Eterito plays today, see if he can potentially, you know, maybe push himself back into that superstar conversation, or whether or not he's happy to let his two teammates really, you know, share the load with them as well.
Yes, we touch a lot on Juventus. Let's turn our attention, of course, to their competitors today, Manchester United. 3 huge players. Cams goes back a long way, trained with Usman Kabil for many years, a great French player. El Gijonio, one of the most passionate, emotional, brilliant at times players over the years in the PES League as well, and different competitions, of course, here in eFootball.Pro. And Ostojic, one of the greatest young players in the game as well. So have we seen enough of them yet?
I think we're still, and again, we're still waiting on some of these teams. We are still waiting for that defining performance. And, you know, I know we've alluded to Austria coming back in this match day. Let's not take it away from Almighty DS, though. He's a quality player in his own right. So I think it's a case of they're able to take players in and out that are kind of
it's
level
a nice
with
luxury
each other.
to have.
Yeah, it's great. It's like, you know, you have a selection issue in the sense of all 3 of your players at any one time can be taken in.
So we're underway, and it's Manchester United who start on the front foot as Douglas Costa tries to clear his lines, and it ricochets back to Manchester United as McTominay and Dybala now picks the ball up for Juve, a chance for them to breathe. It was a pretty explosive start from Manchester United. They weren't able to capitalise, and now Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, a former Red, finds Cuadrado, a former Premier League player as well. And now Greenwood on the left-hand side, one of the brightest young players being used by Osterbuch, also one of the brightest young players in their respective campaigns, as Rashford turns it in towards Greenwood and fired away.
Certainly an early start that is promising for Manchester United. When you look at the two teams' form, obviously last week Manchester United, or excuse me, last match day, Manchester United only able to gain 1 point against Celtic.
First real chance here for Juventus. Cuadrado across the face, and who else but Cristiano Ronaldo to turn home at the back post. It's a lightning start for Juve, and it's a stunning, stunning goal.
And who else but Cristiano Ronaldo? Who else but Eterito, the man we were talking about to step up? It's him with the tap-in. Credit obviously to his two teammates fashioning the goal, but that's what we wanted out of Ettore. That's what we wanted to see out of him here. The two men alongside him combining to, well, the pass to the assist and then the assist itself, allowing an easy tap-in. And for all the work that Manchester United did in the early stages of this match, it's Juventus striking first.
Well, it's like the Juventus boys heard us talking about what's the team spirit like in the camp, and they've produced one of the team goals of the day so far, as Manchester United now need to find a response. We're only 15 minutes down, and it's something you don't want to be against the team like Juventus, who can take the game away from you once they get in front.
Yeah, definitely not. You don't want to be conceding first, and it's scary for Manchester United as well in prospect when you consider, I'll come back to my point actually, as
Cuadrado finds Cristiano Ronaldo. It's 2-0. Juventus, exactly what I said, explosive from 1-2. They're taking the game away from Manchester United, and it looked like it might possibly be Cristiano Ronaldo second and Eterito second.
it is Ettore, and my point was going to be, if you let Juventus score early, we haven't really seen them since the match day where Lo Scandalo got the match ball for a hat-trick. We haven't seen them stretch their legs. Look at this, wide open, a defensive mistake from Manchester United. And it is Eterito with his second in under 20 minutes.
The 1-2 back towards Ettore, and the hooked finish into the bottom left-hand corner. Cristiano Ronaldo against his former club. What a finish.
What a finish. And it's a miscommunication at the back there for Manchester United. Something they need to try and steady going on to the rest of this game. And honestly, as we were talking about Ettore not really stepping up, that goal actually levels him with the joint top scorer of his club. You can see the stats there, Il Distratore and Eterito now, both with 5.
Imani Miller dispossessed by Rabiot, and now Dybala brings it forward again for Juventus. There's so much space in the heart of that midfield, and Manchester United are in danger of throwing this game away inside the opening 20 minutes. It's Dybala, lovely footwork, great challenge there from Phil Jones to deny him, but Manchester United are well and truly on the ropes, Harry.
Absolutely they are, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, look, this could get ugly. If Man United don't arrest the slide quickly, this could get very, very ugly indeed. Juve seem to be all over them. Every time that ball goes into Ronaldo, it's almost like it's a lightning bolt for United, and the alarm bells are ringing immediately.
I can't believe how open they are in the heart of the midfield at the moment, as Greenwood picks the ball up, places it through towards Rashford. This could be a great response. Good stop down, strong hand to his right-hand side. Nice response though from Manchester United.
It's another just little shift from Eterito here, using the manual goalkeeping. Just that micro step to his right allows a strong parry around the post.
Micro step, not even a small step.
Not even a small one.
Smaller. Rashford whips it in towards Greenwood. Back with that man. Come up through the ranks at Manchester United, and well and truly a first-team player at the moment.
Look at the space on the right for Dybala.
And it is that man who picks the ball up, holds off Maguire, now finds Douglas Costa. There's space all over the show at the moment on the edge of the United area. Douglas Costa, good challenge from Taylor and hacked away up towards Imani Miller. Now Paul Pogba tries to keep possession but gives it away. It's all got a little bit scrappy.
It has, and I think this is the avenue that you do want to take if you're Manchester United. Yes, it is a bit scrappy. It's not the cleanest football you want to see, but
you probably want to try and slow the tempo down a little bit.
Exactly. You want to stop Eterito getting onto that goal-scoring rampage, but, I mean, they're very leaky here at the back.
Eterito this time showing his defensive mettle with the header from Bonucci, and now Scott McTominay under the astute guidance of Eldridge O'Neill. One
Great
back
interception.
though. Chance for Luscandalo to bring it forward out towards Attore on the left-hand side using Cuadrado. Cuadrado tries to find Ronaldo, but that's a poor pass.
Tell you what, credit Los Scandalo for that interception with Rabiot, I believe it was. It was so well read, and this is the good thing about this Juventus squad we were talking about before the match. Eterito happy to share the load with these two players, Luca and Los Scandalo, both chiming in when needed.
Rashford tries to find Damani Miller. Now, of course, we're very, very early. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves, but we talked about waiting for a defining moment in Juventus this season, and this might well be it, as Maguire finds McTominay. Now, Paul Pogba finds Rashford. A goal now for United could be huge in the scheme of proceedings, as Rashford has support on the right-hand side. Instead, he goes left, and it's almost broke for Greenwood, but the goalkeeper smothers, the former Arsenal man, of course.
Yeah, the touch just too much, a bit too strong for Greenwood to really corral that one in and make a reasonable chance.
Paul Pogba, 1 minute of added on time, and a chance for the manager to really bring some heads together and work out, try and figure what's gone wrong in the opening 45 minutes, but it could get worse as Ronaldo smells blood here, smells Red Devil blood.
They're looking really, really static in midfield, Man United. The minute that ball goes in, it looks really laboured, try and get it forward. On the flip side, when it goes to Juve, they have options, they have quickness, they have dribble, they have everything that they need to get forward.
Why have they got so much space in the attacking third, Wes?
It's more a case of how they're setting out as a trio. They're able to make runs independently of the person who has the ball, but they're making smart enough runs. You'll see it with Ettore, you saw it with that second goal. Definitely is that understanding of getting the ball out to Douglas Costa and then to receive it straight back when you have that right space.
Now, of course, we must say that we shouldn't write off Manchester United. We've seen it already today. A 2-goal cushion is not enough sometimes in eFootball.Pro, but Juventus a possible different kettle of fish to Arsenal, maybe?
Yeah, they've certainly proven it so far, and so far this season, that once they score first, they are unlikely to drop points.
Greenwood finds Rashford. Oh, what a chance there for Marcus Rashford. The right foot shot outside of the boot. A bit too close to the goalkeeper, and it's palmed behind for a corner, but it's a good start to the second half for them.
Yeah, I think this is, again, Ettore just with that little micro adjustment with the goalkeeper, pushing it round, making it short.
Possession in favour of Manchester United, turned home, and it's an unlikely finish from an unlikely man. It's Nemanja Matic who turns it home, and the goalkeeper didn't look like he knew what was going on there.
Certainly not. Looks like by the reactions it was a Cam's goal. We'll get confirmation in just a moment, but that's the goal they needed to start off this half. They're playing down their celebrations because they know it's a little bit fortunate for it to dribble all the way through. But Nemanja Matic gets one back.
Well, Wes. Are we about to see potentially another huge turnaround in eFootball.Pro?
Well, United are not shy of comebacks, and you know we know the passion that they have, and they're trying to temper it at the moment because they understand that this next 10 or 15 minutes are absolutely crucial.
I tell you what, if you see a second goal for Manchester United, you know for a fact the celebrations will be far, far different. All three of them will be up on their feet as Rabiot plays it in towards Ronaldo. It's an interesting challenge from Taylor. The referee just electing to give a free kick and no caution.
Had a chance to play that quickly, did Juve, but respecting Manchester United's potential for a counter, let's just get bodies forward and make sure this one is staying in at least the United third.
Luscandalo fires it in towards the danger area. It went a little bit further than Manchester United would have hoped for, but Lindelof was there finally to clear it away. Now Bonucci, of course, Ettore. Now Ettore plays it through, all the way through towards Cuadrado and cleared away. It's got a bit scrappy in the last 5 to 10 minutes or so, but this will, like you said, Harry, this will probably suit Manchester United.
Probably would, yeah. I mean, right now Juve look a little bit suspect in defence. Yes, they're dealing with any attacks that United are coming up with in open play at least, but as long as there is a bit of miscommunication at the back, we saw it for the first goal of the game. I mean, it's easy to capitalise if you're not all on the same page, and that's what maybe United are banking on here.
Cuadrado finds Ronaldo out towards Douglas Costa. Support from Dybala. Chance to turn onto his favourite left foot. Now in towards Douglas Costa. And it's another clinical team goal from Juventus. A brilliant move from start to finish. And they've got their 2-goal cushion.
And it's right back, as you say, to that 2-goal cushion. And it's a marvellous team goal. We'll see the replays again, and it will show just how in sync these three are for the old lady. Juventus absolutely on fire in this game, and United, well, they were banking on a bit of a mistake and miscommunication at the back. It's not come, and they have conceded once again.
It really was a devilish goal against the Red Devils there.
Got nothing to say.
That's 2 goals and an assist for it. All right, oh, don't worry, I'll rein it back in for.
I apologise for that.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's an assist now for it already to go along with the 2 goals. Again, was the performance that we expected out of him. Is that he's now again proving his worth, and so are his teammates. His teammates in this as well have been fantastic. Eldis Torre and obviously the Scandal have both played very well indeed as well.
Well, we've seen 3 great goals, but they've all been great team goals, haven't they?
They have, and it's important for me that Ettore has answered the summons. He's, heard the call and he has answered it. He's stepped up here well and truly in a big way for Juve, and in a game that, when you look at the table coming into this match, I mean, Juventus and United just split by 2 points in the table. So this is a real important game.
So Wes, what are you seeing here from Manchester United in terms of their tactical tweaks here?
It looks like they're, if you're looking at it, yeah, they've got a couple of tactics set up. One being a diamond, so that it's almost like they're trying to kind of push players forward and get more forward. But as we already said, in their normal formation, they were incredibly wide open.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go down the route of playing a
well, look, it's
formation
just left Jesse Lingard there by himself at the moment. And
yeah.
It allows players like Rabiot to really get in around him and then start to free the likes of Dybala and Ronaldo. And it is the former here, Dybala onto his left foot back towards Khedira. Now Rabiot, good challenge there from Harry Maguire, steps forward. Manchester United looking to hit back for a second time in this match to make it 3-2, and then it would be a grand stand finish potentially, Harry.
Potentially, but we will see if United have that in their locker. So far, it's all Juve, and they're attacking in numbers.
Dybala, good challenge, and Maguire again. It's difficult because from a captain's perspective, he won't be happy with conceding 3 goals, but he's played pretty well. As Jesse Lingard now joins the attack, plays it in towards Imani Miller! And it's a second goal for Manchester United. And for the second time today, they've come from behind. They now need to go again and get the equalising goal.
And it's that miscommunication we were talking about, and maybe that United were banking on. You can see the post-mortem analysis already happening at Juve, but look at this, beautiful run. Just gets stuck on a Juventus player, but if anything, that helps out Imani Miller, as it is going to be a United grandstand finish. Let's see if they can complete this comeback.
Well, we thought the FC Nantes game would not be beaten today and potentially even in the season, but could we be scheduled for another barnstorming finish here? As what would you do now, Wes?
I think if you're
in both shoes,
if you're United, you need to press on. If you've gone and taken that goal, don't just sit on the formation you've got. Try and push players forward. Granted, you've got to.
Have they been playing gegenpress so far?
These guys haven't been, not from what I can see at this point. But you can see there they're looking at how their defence is pressuring. So you can see there they've switched their kind of point of defending out to focusing it on the wide players, because that's where your likes of Dybala and Cuadrado and Douglas Costa are getting free. If you're Juve, you need to just kind of cover up a little bit, and like we say, if you've got opportunities, make sure they pay.
Well, they've made 2 changes along those lines. They've actually taken both of those players that you mentioned off, Cuadrado and Dybala, both being changed. They've done a lot of running, made up a lot of ground in this game, so tired legs might be a sensible option to give them a bit of extra spark in that attacking third for a counter-attack. But they've got to be careful here because Manchester United are growing into this match, and it's in towards Rashford. Great chance, Imani Miller. He's hit the post. What a chance for Manchester United, and it should be all square.
And it was Cams with the shot. I'm not going to berate him too much for not putting that one in the back of the net, because not too sure he was expecting that one extra pass. It was a lovely passage of play from United, but now Juve can come right up the other end.
Not to mention the extra pass. There was a manual save in there as well. I didn't quite catch who it was that pulled it off.
Yeah,
but
he tipped onto the post,
it was a brilliant save.
Harry Maguire now finds Rashford. United come again. Said this time and time again over the decades, as Phil Jones now fires the ball forwards, looking for Juan Mata, but one back by Juventus mentally now. We've got to see a really strong performance from Juve, as a few hearts in the mouth moments from players in the studio as the ball got fired back to the goalkeeper, took it on the chest. Good period of possession though, Harry, from Juventus here, just to kind of stifle the game, but now actually almost got on the counter-attack.
Yeah, nice idea there to play the extra pass. I think you're looking to take a touch there just to make the defender commit to one of the players, either the player on the ball or the player off the ball, and then you can go from there. But Juve killing this game off, time ticking down now. United, they're running out of it.
Higuain finds Ronaldo. A fourth goal would be well and truly game over, but it doesn't look like they are going to go for that option. It looks like they may just try and keep the ball in the corner or not, in towards Ronaldo, and he's trying to fire it goalwards, and that might be a decision that could come back to haunt him as David De Gea fires the ball forwards. We're deep into the final minute of the allotted 90. All eyes on the fourth official as he walks towards the edge of the technical area. 3 minutes of added on time. Is there one last chance for a last gasp equalising goal? That is a cynical foul, a tactical foul, a gamesmanship foul on the edge of the area, but Harry and Wes, it gives them a chance.
Yeah, it's not the area you want to give the free kick away for, especially with, as we saw earlier, with not pushing players forward. United could easily, and as you can see, they're making minor adjustments, but they're pushing players forward. They want to have as many options in that box as humanly possible.
Yeah, and you can see on the other side the complete contrast. Look at the wall of players Juventus have brought back here. 5 midfielders in front of those 4 defenders.
You can see why they would do it, but equally,
it's risky.
I mean, it's going to cause some real confusion if they can play the ball into the right areas here, Manchester United. There's going to be bodies all over the place.
And we saw the late penalty given against Arsenal for FC Nantes. That could be a very similar situation here. So this is such a delicate situation for Juventus to take care of. And you're right, with that many people back, it can be very, very confusing.
It's the old 2-3-5 formation.
Yeah, ladies and gents, do not go anywhere. We are deep into added on time in this match between Manchester United and Juventus. 2 amazing clubs. And it's an amazing scoreline so far. It's 3-2 to Juventus, but with the final kick of the match, we could see potentially another incredible turnaround. From 3-1 down, a chance for 3-3. It's in towards Harry Maguire. It didn't quite have the legs. Are they going to get another opportunity? It's back in towards Matic. In towards Martial, tries to turn to get the shot away. Hacked away. And surely, with the referee, with the whistle to his lips, brings the game to an end. And a really, really important 3 points for Juventus. But guys, Manchester United took them all the way.
They did not make it easy on Juventus by any stretch of the imagination. Yes, Juventus were up 2-0 and 3-1 at parts, but United pushed them all the way, and that will give them hope in this second match we have coming up. They don't get any points out of the first game, but can't afford to be too hard on themselves. Based on what we just saw, they really did not give anything away, apart from, obviously, those 3 goals.
So a great solo performance from Ettore there. I believe the match ball?
No,
just
the two, and
just
an assist, though, for the third. So really stepping up, as we were asking him to do, and already joking around with his teammates, knowing that, yeah, that one was maybe a bit close for comfort, but in the end, they know the result. They got the 3 points.
Yeah, it's quite funny seeing Ettore mid-game when they've just conceded a goal, and then him after the game.
After the points have been secured.
Laughing and smiling as if nothing's happened.
Yeah.
We all saw him berating, that's not even a word, is
berate?
it? Berate, that's the one. Berating his players after the second goal came in from Manchester United.
On the one side, you have Eterito, you know, laughing, joking with his teammates. I want to see the opposing captain, Eldridge, really step up in that similar situation, you know. not so much laughing and joking, because you can't have that mentality after you just lost a game. But head down, let's talk about, you know, some more tactics, maybe what we could do differently from the first game. That's what Eldridge needs to be doing right now. And of course, maybe consulting the almighty DS sat behind him as well. United with their 4-man squad, still able to consult him between games, and you know, he's an extra pair of eyes, just as Lutty is for Bayern München.
Well, that was my next point, is that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've not really been paying much attention to what he's doing today anyway, but I certainly remember from Bayern Munich's point of view how much Lutty is involved in those tactics. Do you think we need to see that from DS?
I think it's a case of, for at least for the almighty DS, it's a case that if you can see something, call it out. You know, you can see, you know, you don't need us to start calling it out up here when we're, you know, we're just commentators and we're sat here going, actually, you're being overrun in midfield. There needs to be some type of, like, even just cue a pause and just take a second to just go, what's going on? Like, you know, at least with obviously
that second
with Bayern
pair
Munich,
of eyes can be so important.
Yeah, I
mean, at this level.
When with Bayern Munich, obviously it's exactly the same. You can see how much Lutty is involved with that kind of, you know, actually looking at stuff and analysis. I think the same needs to be done with United to really take them to that next level.
So 5 goals split between the two teams in that first game. 3 for Juventus was enough to beat Manchester United 3-2. We are into the second game now. Another 3 points at stake. As it's Juventus who get the first attack underway, but it's in the grateful arms of David De Gea.
Yeah, do not adjust your sets or go anywhere. I feel there are way more goals to be had in this one here, Adam.
Scott McTominay, one of the breakthrough stars of Manchester United this season, turns and finds Nemanja Matic. Now, Demani Miller won back though by Chiellini, a stalwart of the Juventus back line over the years, Harry.
Yeah, a backbone to that Juventus line, even when they were, you know, under a bit of adversity at their football club. He was always there, always faithful.
Cuadrado heads it on towards Dybala. The right foot volley straight down the throat of the Spaniard.
David De Gea there, gratefully gobbling that one up. I think it was Lo Scandalo with the shot.
Oh, it's a poor back header there. And Mason Greenwood almost capitalised on that horrific error of judgment there. Heart in the mouth moment there.
Yeah, it's all a bit scrappy. And both back ends, I feel like if either of these two teams were to go on and maybe challenge the likes of Bayern München or AS Monaco, they would be put to the sword with this kind of slapstick defending almost. Certainly needs to be shored up later on in the season.
It does look a little bit haphazard so far as Rashford comes away again. He's got support from Greenwood straight through the middle. There's the pass in towards Greenwood. Cuts back onto his left foot. Can't get the shot away, and De Ligt did brilliantly actually to fire it off the attacker and out for a goal kick. But again, we mentioned in that first game, a stop-start, cagey, nasty game really probably favours Manchester United, and it's kind of started in that vein.
Yeah, it has, but Juve always dangerous as they are here. Almost getting a chance off there, but can't fault United in their approach play. Obviously, both teams' defence is not as on point as maybe you'd like them to be, but United still, you know, creating chances. It's not like we saw in other matches where they haven't had that creative spark, all those opportunities falling their way. I feel like there are opportunities for them in this match.
Chiellini heads away, only as far as Marcus Rashford, back to McTominay. 20 minutes gone, fired in towards Paul Pogba. Great flick in towards Rashford. Oh, what a goal that would have been.
Tremendous find. Just a little floaty ball there at the man on the far post, and fortunate to come away with the ball here, and it looks like it's going to be Dybala.
In towards Dybala, can't get the shot away. Smothered again by David De Gea. That's a big chance that, Harry. Just couldn't quite get the ball out from under his feet.
Yeah, Dybala and Captain Eterito, you'd bet your house on him scoring them.
Rashford finds Greenwood, back to Rashford. Lovely one-touch football from Manchester United. The shot was blocked by Bonucci, and now Douglas Costa can bring it away, but Juventus can't get out at the moment. Manchester United camped inside their half. Pogba out towards Greenwood. They need to make this pressure pay though, otherwise they could succumb to the lightning counter-attack from Juventus. Cuadrado, support from Ronaldo. Ronaldo tries to find Dybala. Good defending again from Phil Jones.
just seems to be in the midfield at the moment. Well, as I say that, it's Juve gaining control, but most of the time it has been United winning that midfield battle. Matic, Pogba, McTominay, all stepping in when necessary and finding the ball to the front three.
That's a lovely ball towards Damani Miller. Crosses in towards Greenwood. Oh, anything, a hair's breadth or anything would have sent that goalwards, but he's missed it.
He did so well to get in front of his defender and his man, but like you said, any kind of connection on that, it's going goalwards.
Damani Miller, plays it through Rashford, one-on-one, surely 1-0 to Manchester United. Oh, he saved it. He's put it straight at the goalkeeper, and that is a huge, huge missed opportunity, Wes. And did you see something there? Because I know what I saw.
Yeah, I know what I saw too. It was it's manual goalkeeping, but it's like we alluded to earlier. That's a point where manual goalkeeping benefits you, because I think it was Ettore again who's gone to manual goalkeeping, but he's making United make a choice before he makes a choice. He's not committing, and he's not presenting them with an easy opportunity, and as a result, it's a great save.
And the United man with the chance was actually Cams, and you could see him second-guessing himself as soon as Etorito made that shift over to the near post. Really made him think about where the ball needed to be placed, and just didn't fancy himself with Marcus Rashford to go for that far post where the goal was more open.
Yeah, McTominay caution there for that foul. A huge missed opportunity, regardless of the brilliant manual goalkeeping. You would put your house on Rashford putting that in the back of the onion bag, but as things stand after 37 minutes, it's been really a half that's been dominated by Manchester United, surprisingly, in terms of what we saw in the first game, how disjointed Juventus have been, and they have had 73% possession, Manchester United.
Yeah, they've had their odd opportunities. Let's not, write Juventus off completely. I mean, you think about that Dybala one-on-one with Etorito, that could have been a goal, but you're right, the majority of chances certainly have come United's way, and it's because of this midfield battle that currently they're winning.
Yeah, I certainly haven't written Juventus off, because I know for a fact that if you do not score when you're on top in this game, you can and often are punished, and Juventus are one of the best teams to do that. Scott McTominay, of course, now walking that tightrope on that yellow card as Cuadrado now finds Ronaldo on towards Dybala, and this is the sort of attack we saw them in the first game. Douglas Costa, a chance to go 1-0 up, deflected. Oh, it's trickled wide of the far post, and it should have been 1-0.
Look at this dummy here by Etorito, just to allow that ball to run across his body with Dybala. And it's allowed the run to come in from Lo Scandalo, and it just trickles agonisingly wide for Juventus.
It does indeed, as Osterbuch comes across with Paul Pogba to block that cross. But they've elected to change corner kick taker. It's in by Cuadrado in towards the near post, and it's headed in. And look at exactly what I said. If you do not score when you're on top at the highest level in eFootball.Pro, you will be punished.
It's the bait and switch of that corner. They set that up as though that's been drilled into Ronaldo, and they've completely taken that man that you stand in that spot on the touchline to block that cross. Instead, they've just gone, actually, we can just do it elsewhere. And it's Dybala with the acrobatic finish that is absolutely stunning.
World class from Juventus, and just when you think that it might not be their day in this second game, right on the stroke of half-time, a perfect time to score. They've gone 1-0 up, but can United make an instant response? Paul Pogba can't get the shot away, and somehow the old ladies scramble it away, and it's finished at the end of the first 45 minutes. Manchester United 0, Juventus 1, and that really was a smash and grab, Harry.
It was. I mean, United with, you could argue, more clear-cut opportunities. Yes, the shots are at half-time in more favour of Juventus, but you have to think a couple of those shots came towards the end of the half. United unfortunate not to get at least a goal in that first half. They can't get too down on themselves though.
Douglas Costa finds Ronaldo. They certainly don't want to concede a second. Bookending the first half and second half, that would have been, but it's gone just the wrong side of the post from a man who usually hits the target.
I tell you what, for Juventus, this Etorito and Lo Scandalo combination, there's been 3 or 4 different opportunities and passages of play that have been created by those two alone. Il Distratore obviously covering in defence and pressuring as he is just there to prevent any forward progression from United, but Etorito and Lo Scandalo really on the same page here for Juventus.
The thing is, we mentioned how they weren't quite on top in that first half, but of the chances they did create, they were big chances. And obviously they took one of them, and that is always a threat. When you're a team and you're playing okay, but they're half chances, you'd be a little bit concerned. When you know you can create something out of nothing in most games, you know you're always going to do okay.
Yeah, and that's where a team like that will favour this type of game, where it is a bit scrappy, both teams having opportunities. When you favour your own fortune over the other teams, you're always going to be in better stead than maybe your opponents would be.
Speaking of fortune, fortune favours the brave. Can Manchester United do something in this second half to turn the tide as Rashford shoots towards goal? It's deflected and takes all the pace off the shot, and it's an easy save for Sir Chesney.
Laid it back in the end to Cams. I think Cams, once again, similar to that chance in the first game of these two, wasn't expecting that extra ball, so Rashford, controlled by Cams, had to take a touch, and if he'd struck it first time, maybe it would have been a bit of a cleaner connection. Maybe there wouldn't have been a deflection, and maybe it would have been a goal.
Sorry, I just keep cutting you off. That's there.
All right,
I kept thinking you'd finished. I'm just looking at the stats, actually, and it's remarkable how we've had so many games so far. Monaco haven't even played yet, and Usmakabal is still top of the assists and goals with 7 and 10, respectively. He's 3 goals better than his teammate Kilju with 7, joint with Roxa on 7 as well. What a remarkable season he is having, and we are going to see him very, very soon. The man of the moment, the team of the moment, AS Monaco in their matchup. But right here, Juventus looking for the double as Cristiano Ronaldo goes in again, crosses towards Cuadrado. Good defending, Harry.
Yeah, Lo Scandalo there, trying to repay the favour to Eterito, but like you said, good defending. United hanging on for now, and the longer this stays at 1-0, the longer there is a chance for United to get something from this game.
2 goals in their first game, so we can't write them off. All the while, as you said, it stays 1-0, but the longer the game goes on the tied legs, you would be inclined to start seeing a few mistakes, and that may allow Juventus in on the counter-attack. 70 minutes gone here, and it's still Juventus pressure and possession, which is a little bit surprising. Or do you think Manchester United are just trying to stay in this one at this moment in time?
Yeah, I think at this stage, you know, you weather the storm and you try and stay on or within 1 goal going into that last 10 minutes. And I suppose it would be a little bit worrying if you're playing for Manchester United, the lack of output you have. You know, you haven't really had a chance in this second half. That needs to change, really.
Douglas Costa challenged by Harry Maguire. Just 15 minutes are all that stands between Juventus and 6 huge points, which would see them joint on 16 points with AS Monaco. Of course, AS Monaco can stretch that lead again with their 2 games later on today, but certainly if you're Juventus, you need to be there or thereabouts by the end of today. So drop points here in terms of going for those elite spots. You'd be a bit disappointed having got to 80 minutes with 6 points in the bag. Paul Pogba, Scott McTominay. Is there a moment of magic for the Red Devils to snatch an equaliser here? Cuadrado, Dybala, or is there, on the flip side, something from Juventus? A cynical foul there.
Smart one, though, by Eldridge. I think Juventus would have been home and dry with that counter-attack, and I was going to ask the question, at what point do you make some changes and make some substitutions, because United have been almost specialists of late goals this season. I'm thinking back to last match day against Celtic, for them to equalise, I'm pretty sure. They were able to get one in, well, the latter stages of the game. So we'll see what the consensus is for United here, what they can do, whether or not they believe they can get themselves back into this game and secure at least a point. It wouldn't be the best of results for them with Juventus around them in the table, but a point is better than none.
It is indeed. I'm just, while we've got a brief pause in play, I'm just looking ahead to the next game. Bayern Munich versus Boavista. That's a really, really tough one to call, because as good as Bayern Munich have been, and they have been, Boavista have put in some incredible performances and probably have been a bit hard done by across the season so far, and deserve possibly points-wise more.
Yeah, I think the way that they are kicking themselves out in games going forward now, they seem to be adapting their tactics more to the teams that they're playing. So I'd expect to see, you know, a similar, different type of game plan for Bayern. Obviously, at the moment we're still stuck in this game here. 8 minutes left.
That is a clue to not go anywhere. If you're thinking about leaving to go and get a cup of tea or something, do not dare, because we've got so much action coming. And remember to follow us on all the major social media channels for eFootball PES and eFootball.Pro, as well as it's hacked up over the halfway line. 5 minutes for Manchester United to grab what would now be an unlikely equaliser. Nemanja Matic finds Greenwood. Still they go in search of 1 point. They could have had 6 at the start of today, but they certainly would be happy with 1 as things stand, because at the moment they're going away with nothing, but it drops towards Greenwood on the edge of the area. Now Taylor can't get the shot away. Cries of shoot from the fans, but Juventus, as they've done time and time again over the years, like a brick wall at the back. Gonzalo Higuain finds Ronaldo. The counter's on here. It's a real chance to wrap the game up. The goalkeeper comes and he misses, but he's put it wide of the target. And we've seen one of the goals of the season and one of the misses of the season right here in the eFootball.Pro Matchday 4, because that was inexplicable.
Look at Eterito's reaction. It was, well, I'm sorry to put you on blast, the man in the middle, Il Distruttore, head in hands moment.
Wow,
oh, no.
wow, wow. They may still...
It doesn't matter anyway.
It doesn't matter. They have come away with all 6 points, and that miss will not go down, but it could have done.
Well, at least they can laugh about it now.
Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. Well, at least at least we can watch on it and feel a little bit more like they are one of us, and they're a little bit human.
Yeah, no, definitely. Certainly shows a human side to PES players, is that even players at the absolute highest level can make some routine errors, that being one of them. But like I said, they'll be able to have a chuckle about that. Coming away with 6 points now, I mean, it sets them up brilliantly for the rest of the league.
Well, like we said, it now puts them on 16 points, joint with AS Monaco, still to play, of course, but certainly up the right end of the table for sure for those knockout places. We talked about there needing a performance. I mean, I still didn't feel we got it in that second game. The first game possibly, but they allowed Manchester United back in it, so I still think there's quite a lot for them to work on, Wes.
Yeah, I think, you know, we asked for a performance from the captain.
Yeah.
We certainly got one from Ettore,
yeah.
and to be fair, the way that the guys played, they were unlucky not really to have more goals, to be in my estimation. The way that they played, the way they passed the ball, the way that they combined, they could have easily have had more goals.
Yeah, because they could have scored more than 3 in that first game, and certainly